Good morning, it's Maureen Muldoon with lesson 56 of A Course in Miracles, the workbook lessons. And we're still in a review. And the review covers 26 through 30. So, we'll begin. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. How can I know who I am when I see myself as under constant attack? Pain, illness, loss, age, and death seem to threaten me. All my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of a world I cannot control. Yet perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. I've tried to give my inheritance away in exchange for the world I see, but God has kept my inheritance safe for me. My own real thoughts will teach me what it is. So this lesson is just another review that tells us that nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists, and herein lies the peace of God. And so if we align ourselves with the real thoughts of God, which are love, that we will see and be in free love. That will be our true experience. That is our true experience, and it lies underneath all of these attack thoughts that we have thrown out into the world. I guess the best question is, why are we having these attack thoughts? And I know one of the reasons that I pick up attack thoughts is the only reason anyone ever picks up an attack thought is that they're scared. That's it. And being afraid is so forgivable, isn't it? So when someone is attacking you, if you can imagine them as a little kid in a Darth Vader costume, don't take it too seriously and just go, oh baby, you think you're something you're not. You think you're an evil, bad person. But I'm not going to play that game with you. I see you as innocent and perfect. Imagine the world that would unfold from that commitment to love. So the next lesson is, above all else, I want to see. So this goes along the lines of, like, do I want to see, do I want to get stuck on the crucifixion? Do I want to get stuck on the illusion that you're bad or I'm bad? Or do I want to see beyond that? So above all else, I want to see. Recognizing that what I see reflects what I think I am, I realize that vision is my greatest need. The world I see attests to the fearful nature of my self-image I have made. If I would remember who I am, it is essential that I let this image of myself go. As it is replaced by truth, vision will surely be given me. And with this vision, I will look upon the world and see myself with charity and love. So again, the world I see is directly related to the thoughts that I think. Nothing leaves its source. So we have one choice to make all the time, love or fear. And once we make that one choice, love, everything unfolds with that thread and that energy of love. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Ah! I was calling on the angels to take that little thing out of my eye. I think it's gone. So when we recognize that it's our own vision that shows us this world that we are engaged with, we get to say, do I want to see it with the vision of love or with the vision of fear? That's it. That's the simple choices. And everything that stems from fear will carry a brokenness. It will come from that place, that scarcity principle that the text tells us about. And everything that moves from love will go with that thread of perfect love. So when you want to make a decision about something in your life, you really want to be still and get in alignment with what would love have you do. Because once you decide with love, everything will unfold from that. If you make a decision in fear, it's like, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive ourselves into thinking that, we are in scarcity in some way. We're not in scarcity. God's world is abundant, and you are absolutely heir to all of this goodness. So the next lesson is, above all else, I want to see differently. The world I see holds my fearful self-image in place and guarantees its continuance. While I see the world as I see it now, truth cannot enter my awareness. I would let the door behind this world be open to me, that I may look past it to the world that reflects the love of God. So it's kind of like we have mastered in creating these clouds that we think can affect God in some way. We create these illusions, and we create these dramas, and we create these crucifixions, and we hold them up to be true, and we hold them up and we pay attention to them, and we, kneel at these alternative altars in such a committed way that we actually convince ourselves into thinking that this is real and God is not. And so, you've heard before, hopefully, don't tell God how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big your God is. Because this is nothing. It's ridiculous dramas that we've made up in our life. And we can let it go. And in letting it go, we hold a space open for God to write its will for us. And its will is always so much better than what we could ever even imagine. So it's kind of like a lot of times in the victim mode, we kind of hold things. And we go, I got to hold on to this because this is serious, and, things aren't going to work out unless I do something about it. But if you look at any of the way showers that, and the images of way showers like Buddha or Mother Mary or Jesus, they're always like this. They always have their hands open. They're never holding anything. They're always open. And that's what this requires us to do. This lesson requires us to come with an open mind, open heart, and open hands, let go of all this illusion that we think we need to take seriously, and allow the grace of God to wash over us and direct us. That requires that we live in the mystery of God, which we don't want to do. Who wants to live in a mystery? We want to know the ending. We want to know what happens. We want to know if we get our good, if the guy gets the girl, if we have a happy ending. Well, if we go with God, we're guaranteed a happy ending, but we're not guaranteed that we get to know it right now. We get to be in the great mystery of God. When we're in the great mystery of God, we will have peace, and it's actually a delightful place to be, regardless of what your ego tells you. Okay, so God is in everything I see. This is lesson 29. Behind every image I have made, the truth remains unchanged. Behind every veil I have drawn across the face of love, its light remains undimmed. Beyond all my insane wishes is my will, united with the will of my Father. God is still everywhere, in everything, forever. And we who are part of Him, yet look past all appearances and recognize the truth beyond them all. God is in everything I see. So this is easy to remember when we're in our early morning hours and we go, God is in everything I see. And we do our spiritual practice and we, eat our lovely breakfast and we hear wonderful music and everything is going well. God is in everything I see. And then, we turn on the radio or we hear a story and we go, oh my God, what happened? God's not there. And we get tricked by the ego. As we move out into our day, we get tricked by the ego. And what we have to remember simply is that everything is love or a call for love. If it appears to be that God is not there, then it's simply a call for love. And we are the very ones to hold the truth up and say, no, I know that God is in everything I see, and I'm not willing to see it in any other way. And though it may appear to be something different, I'm going to know this as a call for love. I'm going to know that even from this illusion of brokenness, something great is birthed. Something really great is being birthed for me right now. I can't tell you how many times I've used that lesson right there. When my dad died, I was in a lot of pain, and I was like, how could this, how could this be for me? And I sat in that pain, and I didn't try and, fix it. I just sat and I said, I don't know what anything is for, but this is going to be for me. Now, how does it turn out to be for me? Well, in the midst of my pain, I can't always see it, but as I move from that state of separation, and it's just a cloud that passes over, I get to see that, when somebody comes to me whose father has died, I know that fear. I know that pain. And now I can be more compassionate with them because I didn't read it in a book, but I felt it in my bones. And it's from my experience that I can tell them, guess what? This will pass, and you will gain something from this. You will become, and this might be a spiritual tenderization of your soul, but it will not come without gifts. It will not come without blessings. The next part is, God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. In my own mind, behind all my insane thoughts of separation and attack, is the knowledge that all is one forever. I have not lost the knowledge of who I am because I've forgotten it. It has been kept for me in the mind of God, who has not left His thoughts, and I, who am among them, am one with them and one with Him. So God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Again, it goes back to the source. Am I coming from a place of love, or am I coming from a place of fear? If I remember that I am one with God and God is one with me, then everything flows from that. And the idea that we're separate from God is so insane. It's such an insane thought that it can only be laughed at. That's the only correct response to the idea that you're separate from God. That's like two fishes saying to each other, what is this thing called water? I don't know what it is. I don't know. I wonder where we can find some water. You know? We are immersed in God. We are lit up in God. We are animated by God. And as the Course says, we are sustained by God. We are sustained by it. We live in it. 365 degrees. It surrounds us. It informs us. It instructs us. It ignites us. And it delights in us. It is the light that dwells within each of us that cannot fail. When we come from that remembering of who and whose we are, we will set the world on fire. So that's the truth today. Thanks for sharing this time with me. God bless and namaste.
It's not that unusual.